We have a new addition to my workspace. You see this plant? I propagated it and it's now alive in my office. It's just so amazing. Something that I just really feel so accomplished, okay? Hi guys, my name is Akari. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're more than welcome to Golden Roots, okay? We're on day 40. I am doing the 75 hard. If you're tuning in for the first time, you're more than welcome. I am on day 40 and even I'm as shocked as you are. I am really shocked and at the same time very ecstatic about the whole accomplishment because honestly, when I first started on day one, I really thought that it was a distant thought. Maybe that's the word for it. I didn't think anything, but am I really gonna do this? But at the same time, I'm here. 40 days of 2 exercises every single day, 1 hour and a half, guys. I never really thought in my life I could ever do that. What's actually even more interesting is the fact that I have been able to vlog every single day for 40 days. So this has been something where I've seen myself grow as a content creator and I've actually seen me wanting to express different things about myself. So 40 days has been a good experience, but as I'm telling you this story, I'm just gonna show you my routine because day 40, this is how my day started and my child is getting ready for school, but I'll be explaining to you guys how it's been and an update because this is very important, okay? So 40 days was a very distant thought to start with. I really thought to myself like, wow, 75 days is a lot of number, but at the same time, am I gonna make 40? So when I actually was doing my first week, I really felt like I just was very challenged, okay? I was trying to get into a routine where my kids have to get ready for the morning. My daughter's going to school. I have to make breakfast. I have to bath the kids. There's so many things that happen in the morning. And first of all, you have to think that you also have to fit in a workout. Most of the times before this challenge started, it was mostly to do with the fact that I had to just deal with myself and just one exercise a day, okay? So if I'm dealing with myself for that exercise, it was probably even 30 minutes, nothing committed. If I went to the gym, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half tops, that's if I went to the gym. But this particular week, it was me trying to exercise or having to exercise 2 times a day, and that was really very new, and I actually was very, I don't know, in a distant passive way. I thought that I might not make it. Honestly, I wanted to challenge myself, but I really wanted to also prove to myself that I'm very capable of doing this. Okay, so while at it, I really finished week 1 and I felt great. My muscles were hurting because I have been combining running and walking. I have had all my exercises outside the house, so it's been outdoors. It hasn't been any indoors. There was times where I had the rain, the kind of weather where you think twice, like, am I supposed to really go out today? I don't feel like going out, but I did. So when I actually have been out all these times, they've been very therapeutic. At the same time, there's just a difference with just doing your workout outside than you trying to do just indoors. One thing that I've seen, or one thing that I actually appreciate about the time that I started my challenge, is the fact that the weather in Ireland is actually getting warmer, okay? So even though, yes, there has been rainy days and whatnot, I really have enjoyed just being outdoors. And just being outdoors, because I'm always around kids, always around, gets to open up your mind to other ideas, especially as a content creator. I've had to now think of new ideas of presenting my content here. What do I want to add to my content? Who's my audience and all that? And being a mom and being a wife, all these things have been put into context, that how do I now put all this together while I do this challenge. So week 2 was a different time where I really tried to figure out, okay, this is working. This is how I want this week to be, because this is how the first week went. What can I do to actually adjust this week? Or how can I do my workouts first? And one thing I figured was that I can do my workouts first thing in the morning. And if I get that done, then at least the morning falls in and I already have 10,000 steps done in the morning. Can you imagine? Like by 8 o'clock, I'm already 12,000 steps in. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. So this first 2 weeks, I actually I almost felt like fat was melting off me. I was like, okay, I felt my jeans get loose. I felt some clothes. I'm like, oh, this is fitting differently. This is fitting very different. But at the same time, I just felt like it's a time where you are just experiencing a whole different you. We might just all feel like drinking water is like one of the most easiest things to do, when it's actually not, okay? I really feel like the toilet breaks is what takes away from drinking so much water. As good as it is to hydrate, it's if you have a busy day and you had an event or something. This is just an example from myself, that when I had an event and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not drinking too much water, I have to make sure that I have a toilet close by. Even when I go for my runs or my walks, I have to make sure that there's a toilet very close by. So that has been challenging as well, because I really have had to plan my routes when I'm running and when I'm walking. So that's one downside to drinking so much water, but I mean, it's healthy. So that's the positive side of it. This is the negative side of it. So secondly, reading a book. My first book was one of the easiest books to read. 10 pages was so easy because the pages had bigger words and it was much easier to do. One thing I learned from that, or in the 40 days, is that making sure you read during the day is much easier if you have free time. Just make sure that you're getting your reading done and out of the way. Because sometimes if you leave it all the way until later on, you are going to find it so challenging, because you are now tired, you have really almost exhausted yourself, and you're just trying to find time to, just relax, just be you, just sleep, just whatnot. But at the same time, you just trying to read in the afternoon, especially as a mom. I'm going to give a good example myself, is when the kids have gone to nap. That's the best time I get to catch up with things that I might not be able to do if they were awake, because it can be very loud in this house. I'm telling you, it's like a playground or a zoo sometimes. But at the same time, I find that that's the best quiet time to do something, read, and just do something whereby I don't have to worry about kids making noise or distracting me, and that's when I can get my 10 pages done. So with that being said, I really would recommend reading earlier in the evening. If you're done with work after a shower, try and read it. If you're a very good reader at night and you're able to read at night, then I commend you. But this is just these are just examples from what I have experienced personally, and I would really like to share for you guys to be able to accomplish this challenge altogether. So another thing that I want to take from this challenge, from the 40 days, is that your routine is very important. It's important because you're putting you first. You're the one doing the challenge. So you want to fit in things around you, not you fitting things around if it makes any sense. I feel like I figured that out in the 3rd week, that let me put me first in the morning. It's like the same way I said just before, that if you don't put yourself first, you are going to find that your days kind of dragged. I've had lazy days where I was recovering from a long run, and all I wanted to do was just really have a lazy morning, have a lie in, and literally just do nothing at all. Okay, but when you do this, you pay for it later, because one, your exercise is going to be later in the day, like around noon. And then you're gonna have to go for a walk, maybe 2 3 I'm not 3 minimum hours that you're allowed to stay is 3 hours. Okay, so 3 hours is the minimum from your last exercise. So if my exercise finished around 2 p.m., I have to make sure that my next exercise is going to be around 5 or after 5. Okay, so that makes sense. Comprende. So I have found that if I did my exercise early in the morning, it was much easier to just do than it was to do continuously after 3 hours, because sometimes it can be so exhausting, and by the time that you're trying to fit in, for my example is just the editing, finding time to edit my videos. There was a time I actually almost gave up because I never had time to edit, and my the app I was using to edit was just tripping. I almost said to myself, no, this is just not happening. But I have pushed myself to the point where I said, I'm going to make this possible. And just being here at 40 days makes me even more excited because it gets me closer to my finish line. Okay, so just that excitement alone is nice. Okay, so the exercise that you choose, just try and make sure that you are doing one outdoors, and also just read your book on time. These are just pointers. I'll probably have a whole conclusion at the end of everything, but this is just midway through the challenge because I want to share. And if you're on your way, I just also want to share with you guys because this stuff is exciting. You just get to open up about yourself and get to learn a bit more about you. So thirdly, or whatever, another thing that I can take away from this is being sober. Being sober has made a lot possible. Just waking up with a clear head, being able to just do you know, you wake up with a clear mind, straight away you're on the go, you're focused. Okay, I have had to write down things in my journal where I remember that, okay, I can plan out my day. I'm not dealing with a hangover. I'm not dealing with a headache. I'm not dealing with problems. Okay, I'm not dealing with body aches or anything that comes with alcohol related issues. It's something where you are just you get to know you better, you get to focus on you. So this whole challenge, the 40 days, has taught me that I matter. Okay, there was a time that I just completely lost myself and I felt like I really needed to do something. This is a reason why I actually started the 75 hard, because I wanted to just do something about myself. People on the outside would be like, okay, you seem okay, you don't look like something's wrong with you. You be judging someone from the outside, not knowing exactly what they're going through. But at the same time, me going through this like brought me here. Okay, so things happen sometimes for a reason. Things happen to build you up into a better person. And if you're using 75 hard as something that really needs to build you up, you really need to take it seriously. I have had to read sober books because I really just wanted to have a clear head. I wanted to just also understand, what does alcohol take away from you as a person, as from me as a person. So the first two books that I chose were on sobriety, which I felt like worked together perfectly, and also kind of wire you into thinking better, and also letting go of just being used to just not having a drink, because we go out to dinner and all we want to do is drink. We go out to anything socially related, we just want to have a drink. So that was something that was interesting for me to actually let go of, and it's been something where I've learned and taken from just enjoying 40 days of being sober. So the other thing is my nutrition. Keto can be challenging, guys. Keto will play mind games on you because, well, even though your diet is on point, whatever you're doing is on point, sometimes you're like, oh, I could use just some homemade chips. I could just eat a burger right now. I could just eat a pie. I could just eat anything. Like, you just start thinking of whatever you've had to eat. So if you see my last videos, the closest I've come to eating something is Supermax chicken. I really like it. It doesn't kick me out of keto. A lot of people could question that. That's you. I actually listen to my body and I just do what works for me, and it's been working. So when I actually do this, it's something where it's like a treat for me to just take away what I want to eat and what I want to do. So you guys, like, when I tell you that do what you have to do what you have to do. So I wanted to tell you this story and update of how my 75 hard has been this past 40 days before I end up talking too much. And also I already went to look for my other books for my next read, because I'm almost close to the end of the other book. As you guys can see, this bookstore had a lot of books. Like, the shelf had, I don't know how many books that these guys had, and I really wanted to find something that's gonna help me grow as a person. As I am growing, I'm sure you guys can see I'm just smiling ear to ear, because this is naturally just me flowing with how great I feel. The other day I was running, I was just smiling, and I'm sure someone was probably like, what is wrong with this girl? What's wrong with her? But at the same time, I just really feel good. I just feel like I'm walking with God. And if you read my description, I did write that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And really, it's really been God. All right, I can't even speak much about it. I just feel like his presence in me, that I'm just inspired to do this. I'm just inspired to put in work for a carry. I'm inspired to be a better me. I'm inspired to just do better. I'm inspired to just push the things that I wanted to push. Content creation has always been part of me, but it's something where I was lazy. My business, my hair business, something that I always wanted to do, but I sometimes get lazy. You know, I'm just human, guys. I'm just human. But at the same time, these are things that we take away from our own self, and we realize that we actually do need to feel, to feel a certain way to get your mind back up and start operating like a carry. All right? Start operating like you, the person who you were created to be, the way God wanted us to be created as humans. And us being able to exercise twice, it's something that your body can actually do. You're capable of doing that, except we are always thinking that we're not capable of becoming the person that we want to be in our minds, when we are actually the ones who put in the work to become that person. So anyways, I did my second exercise. I went for my walk in the morning. As you guys have seen, I did my second exercise. It wasn't morning, it was a bit late, but like I said, so long as you get it done, don't beat yourself about it, because you are just who you are. Nobody's perfect. All right. One thing I've also learned is that if there's no time to do something in the morning, I'm going to do it. But so long as that I tick it off and it was done, that's the most important thing. So anyways, these are the books I ended up picking up. I really can't wait to read, and I know I'm gonna have a book collection. So I chose Manifest 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life. This is a staff pick. They said it's a staff pick, so that's a good thing. And then the other one, this was my first choice, Things Your Future Self Will Thank You For. So like I said, this is a very big self-development time for me. I really want to come on here and really share with you guys. If you're going through painful stuff, or you've been through something where you just felt like it was a bit too tragic, or you didn't know how to pick yourself up. There was one morning before I started 75 hard, I just said, you just need to really get up, get it together, Akari, get it together. And I started this challenge not knowing what way it's going to lead me, but where I'm at now, I feel good. So I did my reading. I am still not done with this book, but I'll give a recap of this book. And I just really wanted to thank you guys for following my journey. I hope that this inspires, because I really have had times where I didn't even feel like I needed to go out to do my walk. I've felt days where I've been less energetic, but something in me just pushed me. And the more you keep on pushing, the more you keep showing up for yourself, the more you keep putting you, the greater or the better it gets, the easier as well it does get, because you actually start enjoying putting in the time for yourself. We spend so much time doing things for people we love and also forget ourselves in that time. And in that time is when we're also supposed to be putting in the work for ourselves in order to love better, in order to feel good, in order to take depression away, in order to take sadness away. Not every day is a perfect day, but I just want to motivate you that if you put in the work for yourself, even if it's just 10 minutes, you have put in work for you. If you just took time to just write something about what you'd like to do, journaling is such a good thing. It's something that you go back and you also remember to do again and again, and you reflect back on it that, oh, I got it done. And as we speak of journaling, I have a journal right here where I've been writing. It might not be much, but I write these things so that I'm able to remember them. So you guys, I was so tired. I really wanted to just give you guys another narration of my video, because I wanted to also, in the day 40, narrate how the 40 days have been. I hope that if you're following keto, you can be inspired through my Instagram. I just post pictures there, but if you have questions, I reply. And my Instagram is at Mrs. Loga _ Miss. I'll put it here. All right. So if you ask me any questions, I'm able to reply. Otherwise, all my contact details are in the description box. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss videos like this. Bye.